They keep taking down my live. I'm going to just keep putting it back up. My thing is, if interracial relationships was a problem for the black community, whose fault would that be? If it was problematic, who would be at fault for causing the situation in the first place? Who would be at fault? Who asked for it? What people group asked for it? What people group said, we want that? Because by default, it was illegal. By default, it was illegal. It's something that was not recognized by the government. It was something that was looked down on, and it was illegal. So how did we get to the point where it was legal? Who asked for that? Who had the power to make it legal in the first place? Was it the black community that made the interracial marriage legal? Was it the black community that marched, got spat on and hosed down to get it to pass? Whose choice was it? What people group decided to make interracial marriage legal in the first place? If it is problematic, who caused the problem? Who benefited from the problem? Let's all just pretend it is problematic. Who do we blame? Do y'all ask yourselves these questions? Someone says it's not problematic. And when we say problematic, we mean non-constructive towards the interests of progress. We're not just talking about does it make you feel a kind of way? Is it about your feelings? I don't have a problem with it. We're not doing that. We're talking about specific progressive tactics and interest groups that deem progress the liberation of black people. Is this something that is counterproductive, or is it constructive? Something is problematic. That means that you have a goal in mind and your actions or values do not align with that goal. It is thus counterproductive and problematic. So how would it halt progression? It already has. It already has in many ways. And y'all know this. Y'all know this. How is it constructive? That's the question. Not how is it non-constructive. The question is, how is interracial relationships constructive to liberating black people? How is it constructive? Anything non-constructive in a hostile environment is problematic. In an environment where violence and hostility is the default, anything you do that is not geared towards the goal of mitigating that hostility is in itself a violent act. What do I mean by that? If you are in a furnace, a fiery furnace that is turned all the way up, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the Bible, and you decide that your nose itches, you know your butt is on fire, but you decide your nose itches, it is problematic for you to scratch your nose. Why? Because anything that is not a step towards you walking out of the fiery furnace that is burning your behind is something to the detriment of your health and detriment towards your progress. Black people have been in the fiery furnace far too long to be sitting here playing with snow. The snow might feel like it's cooling you down, but you're still in the furnace. We got to step out that furnace, y'all. Anything non-constructive in a hostile environment is problematic. It's that simple. I'm going to start being like Dr. Umar, repeating myself like 3-4 times. He does it 3 times every time. I'm about to start being like Dr. Umar. I really want to be like Khalid Muhammad, but y'all don't know who that is. Some of y'all know who that is. What about black women, white men? Same things, problematic, always problematic. Why would a sister put herself in the proximity of the most violent man on earth? Some of y'all praise that because black women are the least likely to be chosen for marriage. But whose fault is that? Because we didn't have that problem until we got around those men, the men that they are running to in this scenario. Black women do not run to these men. Shout out to the sisters for holding it down. Sisters do not run to those men. Appreciate you, Quinny Soul. Appreciate you, sister. Hope you've been well. But yeah, black women don't run to those men. But why would she run to the source of her problem? You know what I'm saying? It's like you so tired of being in hell that you're going to marry the devil. How does that make sense? You so tired of being in hell, you're going to go ahead and marry the devil. Peace, Brother Kron. What's going on? That don't make no sense, sisters. That ain't no different. Okay, Robert's sticking true to his ancestry or clancestry. Robert prays to his clancestors at night that his people stay pure. That's how you sound, buddy. And he helped the white slave. Black women don't trust him. I don't know what that means. There was never white slaves. White slaves do not exist. There was never white slaves ever on the face of this earth. It never happened. Alexis, you gotta go because I don't know why you typing that word. That's a threat. Like, what is that? That's wild. Are you calling those men the devil? Yes, I call the devil the devil. Find me another demographic that is not the devil. That is the devil, rather. Actually, y'all think the devil is a man in the basement of the earth with horns and a red pitchfork. I challenge you this. Show me that devil, and I'll show him to my devil, and I guarantee you, your devil will run right back up underneath the earth. Your devil will run scared. Your devil will run scared. No one has caused more atrocities in mankind's history than the devil I speak of. And definitely not no imaginary Satan that y'all think exists. His name ain't Lucifer. His name is Biden. His name is Trump. His name is Reagan. His name is Nixon. His name is Netanyahu. He's got many names. The devil has many names. The devil has many, many names. Ignorance causes more trouble. I don't know what that means. Ain't no ignorance on this live. Macron, absolutely. The devil is Macron. Absolutely. The devil has many names, y'all. Congress, Senate, absolutely. Absolutely. The devil has names like Ivanka, Laura Bush, Obama, not the devil, but he worked for the devil. Obama, not the devil, but he do his bidding. Shoot, Obama might be you might be right. He might be the Antichrist. I can't call Putin the devil. I can call him a mean man. I can call Putin a mean man. Can't call him the devil. You judge me in my skin color without knowing me. No, I don't. I don't know your skin color. I don't care about your skin color. Y'all are the only ones that care about skin color. I care about character. That's all I care. It's not about the color of your skin, but the content of your character. Y'all have shown y'all character for 400 years. You telling me I'm wrong for judging you by your character? Y'all got the character of Satan. Satan, Satan, Satan. Like Kanye said. Y'all are the devil. I don't know what y'all talking about. And I said yes, Jason Nat. I said yes. He said, I asked you if children, men of the Mayflower, are the devil. And I said yes. And it's not, y'all not hiding. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing, y'all don't come to my platform to sugarcoat things, do y'all? Y'all want some white sugar on top? Y'all want me to sugarcoat everything? Oh, there's some really nice ones out there. There's some really kind people. Some really kind people. There's some really kind racists, y'all. That's what. There's some really nice racists that are very polite. And when they see you, they'll wave. They'll wave like this, you know. Some really kind, sweet-hearted racists out there. You know. That's the truth, though. That's the truth. We need to destigmatize being racist. We do need to destigmatize that. Let them show their colors. Let them show they horns. Let them show they pitchforks. Well, that ain't nothing new, Serious Joy. I'm assumed to be the devil every time I get in an elevator with a white tee person. I'm assumed to be the devil every time I get pulled over. That ain't nothing new. That ain't nothing new. My sisters are assumed to be the devil when they go into the doctor's office. That ain't nothing new. You ain't said nothing new. We know how y'all feel. My problem is when we assume y'all are not the devil because of the programming. Because we watched an episode of Friends, we think we can empathize. I could go jogging down my street right now and somebody think I'm the devil. Here, hopefully we can get back on topic. Let's see.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Purple. Could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
I'm 39 years old. I'm black. I'm a woman, and I'm she, her, I guess.
All right. Talk to us.
So to stay on your prompt, I want to say, just preface that I think getting away from pro-black, the correct thing would be call them, if they were to do it right and do the homework, would be intersectionality and good allyship. And I say that because I see both sides of the coin of seeing where there's a good interracial couple where they do know their social status and they do know their racial dynamics, and they do take that time to have those conversations amongst themselves as a couple and before they step out. So when we as individuals come at them sideways, they already suited and booted and know how to address and correct people accordingly if they come at them at a disrespectful manner. However, when it's pro-black, you're black about your community. You have a centeredness of blackness and Afrocentricness at the center of your community, and then you have a sense of like wanting to always have the community agenda, whether you're being active in your community from a grassroots level, your church, academia, so on and so forth. Does that make sense?
I'm seeing kind of what you mean by some of this. So you're saying that an interracial couple is not pro-black, but I'm assuming you mean more like anti-racist.
So by pro-black, I see that as strictly a black on black couple thing. I cannot, as a black woman, foresee a interracial couple as being pro-black,
What is
because if it's
pro-blackness
that,
to you?
pro-blackness to me is that you have an awareness of your blackness, and you have an awareness of self. Consciousness is one aspect, but there's also an unlearning and relearning, and the big component to me. I say that very light.
Awareness of yourself, the community around you.
But when I see it now as I age, from consciousness when I was growing up in the 80s, as a little girl in the 80s, in comparison to now, I feel at times it gets watered down or get thrown around too loosely. This is just me and my lived experience, because
consciousness on this live means Steve Biko's definition of consciousness, and a retention of your African identity and a rejection of white supremacy. That's consciousness. You understand your African identity, you understand your blackness and the world that you live in, and a rejection of white supremacy.
I've always looked at it as being more intellectually astute and being well-read. That's just me, because I said, seen it from the 80s.
But we're talking about race.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
That's like saying I see race as two cars taking off really fast. But it's like, no, in this conversation, when I talk about consciousness, we're talking about black consciousness. We're talking about this interracial couple, and we're talking about them. I'm talking about the black counterpart, at least, being aware of their stance in society. If you want to talk about the white person, then I guess you're saying that they have some level of awareness.
To a certain extent, I've seen both sides. Like, I've seen like a white person being aware of their whiteness, and they take the responsibility steps of being a good ally and exercising
I've never seen that in my life. Please tell me how you saw that, because I've been looking. Where they at?
It's just for me. I'm in the military, so I've seen both sides.
Oh, okay. So you think that you found some good ones in the military?
There are good people everywhere, and just like they're bad people.
No, but I'm saying you found some good. I didn't say good and bad people. Don't twist my words like that. You said good allies.
You're saying
where did you find good black? Where did you find good white allyship in the military?
Mentors, leadership. But now my question is, I'm gonna step off the topic. Do you don't think there's any good white people?
Oh no, there's plenty of fine races out here. I just said that. There's good races. There are great races. You walk up to them. I'm sure if I met Donald Trump right now, he'll have the most respect for me. I'm not talking about character. I'm talking about a system that one group specifically benefits from and refuses to dismantle, no matter how much they call themselves an ally because they help a black person today, does not mean that they are an ally.
No, you have a lot of animosity, and that's not going to ever help us anywhere. I understand that there are racist white people just like the Clintons. I understand exactly where
All right. First of all, don't ever characterize me. I didn't characterize you one bit. Don't tell me what I have. Let's just not do that. We can keep this a respectful conversation, but please do not characterize me. I did not say I have a lot of animosity. To be honest, I don't give two craps about a racist. I really don't. But the reason I'm up here is to educate brothers and sisters that follow my page. So I'm not here to characterize you. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to make any judgments. Let's keep it clean. All right. I'm going to let you talk.
we're aging. Hear me? Hear me now?
Yeah.
So keeping it unbiased, understand that white people, especially class solidarity, white people understand that they suffer under white supremacy. And I've seen that growing up, and I understood it just as much as I've seen how racist white people take advantage of the system. I just had the human experience to understand that I got to judge you on a case-by-case thing and still have better discernment on how I move around society. And I learned that through school. I learned that.
Okay,
I'm still in the military.
so wait, hold on. So you're making it sound like, what percentage of the white community did you feel like are good allies?
Poor white people.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a big percentage.
That's not.
What percentage of white people would you say are poor?
I would say
a safe percentage, even if it's more, but just say a safe percentage below what you would.
40. I would say 40%.
Okay.
40%.
All right, so 40%. And where do they live?
It depends. If from me, I'm from California, so living amongst them in California, I experienced those and also experienced the ones from the
So you're telling me there are 80 million white people that care enough about black people that they want to dismantle the system of racism that is oppressing black people to this day, and they haven't formed any type of group, they haven't formed any kind of movement. Where is the white version of Black Lives Matter started by them?
There isn't one.
Now, why wouldn't there be one? Because you just said there's 200 million white Americans. There are 200 million. So you told me 40%. That means there are 80 million white Americans that are good allies to black people. But yet, you have made the bar so low that they have not even organized themselves into a group. They got fan clubs for Dungeons and Dragons and Game of Thrones, but they haven't decided, because they're good allies, they haven't even decided to make a group or form a movement where they're going to march and make sure that their good allyship is flying high in the wind, like where it's showing. Like where are they? They haven't decided to move to one neighborhood and do something.
They're outside. They're outside with us. My thing. Oh wait, but like when I said, you said, let me stop. I'm listening to everything that you're saying, but you insist that I don't characterize you, but you're very vehemently characterizing what you've never experienced, that it don't exist. We have white people who do the due diligence to go into their white spaces.
And that's the thing.
I don't know. I just know that it's there. We're not going to see it, just like they don't know where our spaces are. We don't know what their spaces are, but I know on this app, and I know in real life.
Yes, we do.
Where
their spaces is in Congress.
You know what?
Their spaces is at the town hall meetings. Their spaces is the police office, the police station. They
we both
get
down
in the courtroom. That we know their spaces.
Yes, we do. And don't you see that
some of y'all brainwashed? That's wild.
It does not. It does not have a.
Have fun, colonizer for the colonizer. He got you brainwashed. We're gonna move on. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I'm Erza. I'm 20. What else did you want? I'm sorry.
I didn't ask for your name, your age, your race, and your pronouns.
Oh, I'm 20, white, and she, her.
Talk to us.
I just wanted to answer the first prompt. Can interracial relationships be problematic? I mean, I'm white, so I can't speak for Black people, but I wanted to say in my experience that it has worked for me at least. Dating interracially.
I don't even feel like it, y'all. I don't feel like it. Y'all feel like listening to that? I don't even feel like it. Somebody come up here and talk the truth, man. I don't even feel like it. Do y'all feel like it? I don't even feel like you know where that was about to go. We all know where that was about to go. You know what I'm saying? The pickle was good, and that's what she go. It worked for me. Like, come on, bro. Let's be serious. She said she's 19 or something. How you know it worked at 19? Stop playing with me, man. How old she said she was, y'all? Come on now. She know it working. It worked for me. What do you mean it worked? You 20. What do you mean it worked? How did it work? How does it work? Because I'm married and I have to work for it to work every day. I can't just say, oh, it worked. Honey, our relationship worked. Like, what is work? Like, that don't even make sense. Like, what the hell? Please stop playing with me. I'm married to a white T man and you are not pro-black. Please stop playing with me. You are not pro-black. Pro-blackness is prioritizing one's actions and values with the best interests of building within the black community. You cannot build a wood house with bricks. You cannot build a brick house with wood. You understand? So if you are building with white T men, you are not pro-black. That's how that works. Zuna, what's going on? Give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Peace and love. I don't really do the pronoun situation. Is that okay?
That's
All right.
fine.
I appreciate that. I am 38 and black.
All right, talk to us.
Um, so as far as the questions go, obviously being in an interracial relationship is problematic. Um, I don't even, for one, the product of interracial relationships is most of the time a child that's confused because they have no real identity between the two parents and in this current society. So that's obviously problematic. Um, I feel like I don't really have a whole lot to say. The shit's problematic, to be honest. So that's really where that goes.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't feel like somebody can be pro-black and date or sleep or create with white YT people. It doesn't make sense. Being pro black is about maintaining a black family. Being pro black is about supporting the black community in all ways and facets. Being pro black is not you, especially with men, marrying a YT woman and then giving all of your benefits over to that YT woman
Mm.
when you are no longer here. That's not benefiting black families.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's my simple, solution to that. And then obviously interracial relationships don't benefit the black community. I think that somebody said earlier that I guess there's it's allies, people marry to black people and they become allies. And I don't believe that we have any allies, none whatsoever. And I absolutely know that someone who describes himself as white, European, and is participating in white supremacy, whether they know it or not, because poor white people also participate in white supremacy, and they uphold those values. There is no way, unless you are showing up and putting your life and body on the line, to be an ally to black people. That's point blank
Absolutely.
period.
I heard that. I would even like to raise this point that
Hmm.
racism is a white problem that affects black people, but it's not a black people's problem. When I'm in a room full of black people, there might be colorism, there might be sexism, misogyny, there might be all different types of other intersections, but there ain't racism. There's not the power to oppress unless that power is given by an outside force. So when we talk about being an ally, when it comes to being anti-racist, we're the allies. If I'm fixing somebody else's problem, I'm the ally.
Absolutely.
All right. Appreciate you, sister. Finally, somebody came up here with some sense.
Yeah, peace and love.
It sure is. Appreciate you, sister. All right, let me go to the next guest. Miss Living My Life Like It's Golden. Give us your age, your race, and your pronouns, please. Miss Living My Life, you got to unmute your mic. Everybody keep tapping like. Let's get to 20K.
I guess, can I go?
Living My
Hello.
Life. Are you here? Oh, no, she's here. Go
Hello.
ahead. Yeah, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I'm black and I'm 54. The reason I say that it's not good to date outside your race because my brother, he dated outside his race. He had a child by this white tea woman. My brother was killed 2022 by the mother because he was leaving her. And she's not locked up for it. My brother was found, and it's a hate crime. He was found dead, butt naked, unalive, bleeding from the mouth in Montgomery, Alabama, found on his
Wow.
front porch. And do you know she's not locked up? And now she took my brother. Now she took my niece away from me, and I can't see her. None of that. I went and tried to get custody of her. I was the first one to get the petition. They turned around. People looked like me, turned around and gave that baby to them.
Mm.
So I'm still
Wow.
fighting for justice for my brother and everything. And no, it's not good to date them because when you
Mm.
leave them, they get real violent.
Yeah, that's a fact.
They get real violent and they unalive our black men and the black women. So no, I don't think it's good to date them. And I
yeah.
don't care if they say they not racist. When you pull it out of them, you gonna see the racism.
Hmm. Absolutely, sister. I'm sorry that I'm sorry to hear that, and
Yeah, and I'm
you
still fighting his case. You know what I'm
know,
saying? The mayor down there, Stephen Reed, he need to resign. So does they need to clean up the police department, the DHR down there, giving other black people paperwork to me. You know what I'm saying? Telling me all they business with their social security number on there, how they beat their kid and killed their kid and all that. Now these are black people.
mm, mm. Well, yeah. I mean, we've heard the stories. We seen what happened with Jonathan Majors. Interracial relationships. If y'all don't believe that's problematic, you can't argue with us when we say interracial breakups is definitely problematic because
Yeah, it is.
that's when the other side of them start to come out.
Yeah, it is. And see, I think my family target anyway because my cousin was the one who filmed George Floyd. She the one who testified that white officer, white person killed George Floyd. So
Hmm.
after that, her uncle ended up unalive, and then my brother.
Mm. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that story, sister. It's a cautionary tale many black men need to listen to, and sisters, and the sisters. Not many sisters, not many sisters. Only 6%, so it's a small amount of sisters. Shout out to the black women that don't have this issue as much as the black men. But if you look up some of the stories, on unaliving, domestic violence, it happens a lot in those interracial relationships when they're with the oppressor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's some horrible tales of what happened to sisters, and the brothers too. You end up, even if she don't get you the way that sister just described down there, then that snow bunny will get you with child support.
So
And
we'll take
child support
everything you
makes you
got.
right,
Mm.
and that makes you a second class citizen. They put you on child support and you owe money. They can stop you from getting jobs. They can stop you from getting
Right.
cars. They can stop you
And they
from
don't
leaving
give
the
and
country.
they don't give a hell about them kids.
Yup, and they don't care about them kids.
They don't
Absolutely.
care about them kids, and I'm not trying to be funny, but if we had a race war right now and they had to go back to to their people, they would leave them kids. And who you think gonna take care of? The black folks
Mm-hmm.
gonna take care of.
Right.
Cause we not
That's
gonna
true.
leave them out here.
We never
We're
do.
not gonna leave them out here.
We never do. That's the beautiful thing about the black community, going all the way back to even the institution of slavery, even back to the continent. Honestly, the
Right.
black mother has been everybody's mother. It always took
Yes,
a
we
village to raise
have.
a
Yes,
child.
we have.
Hmm.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we have.
That's our tradition. That's how we act.
But
Absolutely.
it's sad when you get people that look like you that be so against you.
Hmm.
It's sad.
Yeah.
You know, you think they gonna help you, and they don't help you with nothing.
Hmm.
And there was a black man told me, let the dead bury the dead. NWACP down there.
Mm. NAACP is not for us either.
No, they
That's
not
a,
for us. Black
they
Lives
not.
Matter ain't for us either.
Hmm.
None of them. Because they put the white folks in there. If it's for black people, why you got to put the white people in there? White people, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Why you got to put them in there? If it's something for the blacks, why do the white people have to be involved in what we doing? See,
Hmm.
when we want to cut ourselves off, we got to cut them ties with them. And when I
Hmm.
say cut them, we have to cut them ties. Like, cut the daggone umbilical cord off them.
Right. Absolutely. Well, appreciate that, sister. Let me go to the next guest. Thank you for sharing that with us. And we sending love to you, and we know that your brother is watching us with the rest of the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? That gave their life, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Let me go to the next guest, Nora Knight. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hi, I'm 18 and I go by she, her.
Your race, please.
I am mixed.
That's not a race. Um,
I'm like,
usually when someone says they're mixed, that means they're classifying themselves as non-white in some way. What is it that makes you non-white?
so my dad is black and my mom was white.
All right, so you black but don't want to be. All right, cool. Talk to
What?
us. It's cool.
I'm confused.
I know you. I know that. We all know that. To everyone, let us know in the comments if you know she's confused. Did she even have to? Did she even have to let you know?
I'm
All right.
actually confused. I'm genuinely, like,
I
could you
know.
explain it to me?
We all know. Yo, please stop. All right, please stop making me laugh. All right. So, you said your mother's white?
Yeah.
Okay, then we know why you confused too. All right, go ahead. You want to answer the questions?
Yeah, so I just had a question. So, are you saying, like, if a black man is married to a white woman, that means that they're not pro-choice, like everybody who is like a black man is married to a white woman, that they're bad per se, like they don't support the black community?
I think it takes the conversation to a disingenuous place when we start to place character traits like good and bad on ideological and political beliefs. So I would avoid making that error at all costs. Like if anyone that wants to come up here, please don't come up here and saying, so you're saying these people good and these people bad? Like stop. That's a dichotomy. We don't even have to go that far. Like I'm not going that far, and so you don't have to ask me if I'm going that far. We're not doing that. We're not going to just good and bad everything. Like that's a very Christian mindset, like sin and good and evil and righteousness. Like, come on.
I'm sorry. No, plus I'm not Christian though.
Some of us are Christian and don't go to church. We just don't know it. The Anglo-Saxon origins of the American, what we call American culture, which was really just an amalgamation of cultures of oppressed people. but the Anglo-Saxon nature of it is inherently Judeo-Christian in values. So our value system is based on a Judeo-Christian belief. So we have tribalism and dichotomies, good and evil, right and wrong. Am I using too many syllables? Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I do.
I read a lot. I don't know if you
Okay.
can tell. Yeah.
I guess you can move on to the next person.
I sure will. Next guest, greatest. Give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Good evening. I am 53. She, her. What was your other question? And I'm Black.
All right, talk to us.
I'm struggling. I have 4 children. My 18-year-old daughter. Um, she has been dating a white guy for a while. She just let the family know, and she didn't even tell me. I was walking out to get something out the car. She came out and got in the car with him, and of course I had this look like who is this?
Wow.
She met me. The first thing she said to me, Brother Legend, which really threw me, was he treats me well. And I knew that was coming from a place of not feeling that way about the Black males. I mean, and she's still young.
Yeah.
um but we're struggling. I mean, my kids have been raised in a very culturally centered home.
Yeah.
When she brought him into the house, I mean, it probably shocked the hell out of him. It was a 34-inch poster of Fannie Lou Hammer and Malcolm on the wall, and there's 1,000 books in the living room, and everything is centered on the Black experience. And
Yeah.
so much of our conversations are centered on what it means to be Black in America and in the world. And um, her dad and I are struggling. Like, we are really, really struggling with this. I
She's
actually,
14, right?
huh?
She's 14, you say, right?
No, she's 18. She's an adult.
18.
And I say that only by age. She
Yeah.
only in age. She'll leave for college in the fall. But we're struggling with it in the home. Now, let me say this: we're originally from Florida. I moved to Iowa, so if that helps, gives any reference. I moved here for work. I'm a professor of history. Go figure.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah.
So you know.
So I mean, it's rough. She's if any of my children had, it would not have been her. She would have been the one that I would have leased. And my husband and I talked because we were worried about our sons. And I still worry about what that looks like. We have considered going back down south. But we do have, and when I say a quality of life, I say that in quotation marks, speaking financially, because there isn't a quality of life here. But I don't know that we can afford to go back to Florida and for us to be able to try to provide at least home wise what we've given them here. And I'm struggling. I'm really struggling with it.
I mean, it might just be a rebellious thing. You know what I'm saying? At that age, you want to kind of spread your wings and be an adult. Um, I would say, I would hope for that, but at the same time, if you educated her, she'll pick up some sign. Like I would say at 18, once you're past 15, like how's it go? All right, so the capacity for empathy has to happen before the age of 5, and empathy has to be taught before the age of 15. So she has to have learned to empathize with people that look like her and see herself. You know what I'm saying? She should look at Black men, see her father, see people that loved her, but she should more importantly see herself in a reflection of a Black man. You know what I'm saying? So Ian Levazan has a phrase where she says, I am not my sister's keeper. I am my sister." So that's what empathy is. It's not being the keeper of Black people, but understanding that I am you. So when it comes to that, that's another African version that is called Ubuntu. I am who I am because of who we all are.
Right.
So
And I
I'm
mean, it's
getting
been
phone calls,
cordial. Like
but
I can see some of the comments. It's been a cordial. He's, walks in the house, whatever. There's no. However, I thought I would react. I have not reacted in that way. Let me put it. That way. And
yeah,
again, we're in the Midwest, and that's a whole nother. Like this is, yeah,
yeah,
that's a whole nother thing that I was not prepared for. I
hmm,
wasn't prepared. We live in a community or in a city where um, the number of black men with white women is very, very high.
yeah.
Some of that same attitude has been spread, and so she used to come home crying about the unfortunate conversations that she would have with black boys who were saying that they found the white girls more attractive. Um, it was a many a day. I remember one day she came and I think it was probably 7 or 8 of her friends, and they spent 2 hours sitting here in the living room talking about the disrespect that they had gotten from the black males at school, um, and how hurtful it was. And I didn't have a response for her on that.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a I can understand how that's a nightmare, and it is very dangerous out in the Midwest. In the Midwest, them type of white tea folks walk around barefoot. You know what I'm saying? they those are the kind of buck tooth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm sure there's plenty of brothers out there doing that type of stuff. Because that's I've heard stories about that, but at this point, I would say if you taught her everything she needs to know, then she'll do what she's supposed to do. Because it should make him uncomfortable, the level of consciousness that she has. Um, Timothy, do you mind? Timothy, are you here?
Oh yeah, I'm here, family.
Could you host the live for me? I've got to be right back. All right,
Yeah, sure,
Timothy.
sure, no problem.
All right. Well, yeah. So
Was next up on the
Books Echo is next, and appreciate you, sister, for sharing that story with us. And we wish you the best through it. You come back and give us some updates. We will be here. We
I
wish
will.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Take care.
Okay, Book Echo. If you could give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I am 36, age black, and I go by he.
All right, and talk to us.
Um, have y'all seen the picture that y'all are looking at? The movie of the picture y'all looking at?
Yep, I have.
Now, if you understand the whole concept behind, not really the concept, but the director who made the movie. The director who made the movie is the same resemblance. This image resembles him and his relationship. If you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I
So,
mean, he has the choice of leaving that relationship if he wanted to, but
but
he's
do
still
we
there.
have knowledge that he did?
Do we have knowledge that he left the relationship? I don't know. I haven't double checked. As soon as I found out that he was with a YT woman, I mean, that was the last that I really researched into it.
Yeah. So that kind of goes, the topic in that kind of goes, very different. So that's kind of like saying a Klans member trying to date a black woman and being pro-white and not letting go of old hatred and still holding on to old hatred and still going on the rallies while trying to love a black woman. It just doesn't make any sense. So you really couldn't be a part of, he couldn't really be a part of that, just like a black person couldn't really be pro-black, like being a Black Panther and trying to date a white woman. You still hold on to hatred for white people trying to date a white woman. So you always regret and hate the person you're in a relationship with because you enjoy hatred so much.
Okay, so are you of the mindset that, like, so you're of the mindset more so that if you let go of certain hatreds for YT people, then you believe that that relationship can work out? Is that what you're trying to say?
Of course. Just like with a white person, if they and
Okay,
for
so
the
then
person
what
who
we're gonna
says,
do is, if you could go down the rest of the questions on the board.
mhm,
Yeah.
okay, do interracial relationships benefit the black community? I don't think how they would hinder them. They would only just, hey, add to what's the word I'm looking for? Your knowledge of different communities. Like if you were to go to an Asian community, Hispanic community, Indian community, uh, Native American community, you're not hurting yourself. You're only showing people that, hey, you can be respectful to other communities and then actually have some similarities that you didn't even really know about.
Okay.
So how would
So
joining with other cultures?
are you aware of what colonizers used to do during after the European transatlantic slave trade and then during the colonization of Africa? Um, are you aware of what colonizers used to do in terms of sending YT men to African spaces for the purpose of procreating with black women? Um, and then ultimately what they would do is they'd take those children and have them educated in Europe. Are you aware of that dynamic happening or no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how we got across, the world
Okay.
beyond being sold off by our
Actually,
own
that's not
people.
how we got across the world, but okay. Yep, that was 5 calls, y'all. All right. So I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but at the end of the day, that's not how we got across the world. How we, as black people, got across the world is because we were the first people to ever exist in all of human history. So we migrated outside of Africa multiple times over the last 600,000 years. So the concept of thinking that our migration out of Africa occurred, like, I'm not sure where he was going with that, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead to the next person. Who was the next person up here? I need one of the moderators to let me know who was the next person after him, or did everybody have a chance to speak already?
Timothy, I can drop down. I think Caleb was new. And Miss Living, she's been here for a moment.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can stay greatest. We have we have a couple of boxes available. We don't have any requests coming in yet, so you can stay if you'd like. Yeah. But yeah, whatever you'd like to do. So Caleb, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Can
you
you?
now.
Okay, perfect. My name's Caleb. I'm mixed and I'm 21.
Okay, mixed is not a race, friend.
Okay,
Um,
perfect.
well, I mean, mixed isn't a race.
Right.
Um, yeah. So, do you have a parent of African ancestry or no
I
parents?
do.
Okay. All
My
right.
dad is
Mom
black and my
or
mom is white.
okay. All right. Well, then you black, friend.
Well, I
Stand
just,
10 toes down to being black.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Growing up, I always identified as black,
Okay.
and I just found it kind of weird that the host was making it seem as if mixed children who have a black parent and a white parent are just like confused and don't know their real culture.
We are. We are very confused, and many of us do not know our real culture or our real history. And we've actually been used quite often to the detriment of our own African spaces because that's what they do. They try to give us false sense of inclusion and false sense of privileges on the one side, but they never actually give you the participation of being able or the ability to participate in YT supremacist constructs and ideologies. They give you the false sense of thinking that you have a little bit more benefits by more higher job opportunities because of your lighter skin complexion, more access to being shown on media because of higher because of your proximity to whiteness. Like that's a whole thing. So yeah, but at the end of the day, you still black, and plus African genes are dominant anyway. and higher concentrations of melanin have been linked to a lot of biological benefits. So technically speaking, like the foundational principle of you even existing as a modern Homo sapien sapien is an African concept. So there's
Right.
that, but then also having a black parent, you're black. Period. Not to say that you need to push away your YT family. No, you can love them, still 100% love them. Like my, what's it called? Yeah, like I regularly hang out with my pops all the time. But at the end of the day, you are still going to be seen by this world as a black person.
Yeah,
But
no, I 100% agree. I've always
okay,
told people that I identify as black and I will forever identify as black,
all right,
but just couldn't understand how some people find it a little odd that I do. Because I grew up with my white family and I was pretty much the darkest person in my own town, which is kind of odd, but I do understand the kind of white systematic approach to it that the world puts on people who are mixed.
gotcha. And what are your thoughts on the prompts, the questions above?
Um, can interracial relationships be problematic? I don't really know because I'm the result of an interracial relationship and I don't see a problem with it, but I can understand how some people could. I just don't look that deep into it. And then I feel like a black man or a black woman can marry someone who's white and still be pro-black. Just because they marry somebody of a different race doesn't mean they're giving up on their own race. And then do interracial relationships benefit the black community? I mean, it doesn't hurt it. It's not as if the black community is gonna just completely disappear off the place of the planet of the earth.
Okay, so I hear what you said, but unfortunately, you're wrong on all counts, friend. And I'm gonna explain why. Can interracial relationships be problematic? They absolutely are problematic. And the reason why we know this is because in the vast majority of instances, black people are being hyper fetishized, hypersexualized. We're being approached more so for the purpose of being used, not for the purpose of actually recognizing us as human beings. We already know this because even under Cornhub, there was a report done in 2020 that specifically stated that the one of the top, or at least the secondary most search category in all of Cornhub is ebony, and the top right above that was lesbian. So ebony isn't even a humanizing term; it's literally a type of dark wood. So they don't even address us as actual human beings, even in that category type of search. And the majority of people that actually use that particular site is YT men. So like that's a whole thing. Actually,
Mm.
I'd have to redouble check on the exact like majority, but definitely YT men are one of the largest contributors to viewing that site, which means that they're looking that up the most. Um, and to what you said about can black men and black women marry white still be pro black? No, no. You cannot be pro black. Pro black means you are prioritizing the black community in every area of your life. You're prioritizing what's in the best interest of the black community in what you are doing day to day as a black person. So, can you tell me of in what way dating outside of the black community helps or prioritizes the black community as a black person?
I mean, I wouldn't say it helps. I'd just say it's kind of like a just a neutral standpoint.
Okay. I mean, well, there's no such thing as being neutral in conversations about race. It's either one or the other. People always try to kind of like, oh, well, I'm just, I love everybody. I'm just accepting of everybody. I'm neutral. But when it comes down to it, the prison industrial complex is not neutral about that. When it comes down to it, medical racism is not neutral about that. When it comes down to it, a police officer pointing his pew pew at you, they're not neutral about that. They're not going to say, oh, I'm neutral about it. I mean, maybe I'll pull it, maybe I won't. No, they're going to see you as a brother walking down the street, and they're going to be more likely to pew pew you as a brother walking down the street. That's just the statistical norm. There was a research paper that showed between 1960 to 2010, black men were 21 times more likely to be pew-pewed by the police than white men are. And that's between 1960 all the way to 2010. And they found out that you're still 21 times more likely to be pew-pewed by the police, regardless of what your economic status is. So you could be a millionaire and still be 21 times more likely to be pew-pewed by the police if you're black and if you're a man. So that's a whole thing, friend. Do interracial relationships benefit the black community? No, they don't. No. Interracial relationships have absolutely operated to the detriment of multiple African civilizations and kingdoms ranging back thousands of years. Have you ever heard of Kemet, ancient Egypt?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Well, ancient Egypt is, where all those stories from the Bible come from, like Moses and the parting of the Red Sea and the Ten Commandments and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so every single one of those stories were stolen from the intellectual mythology of ancient Africans that were in Kemet, ancient Egypt. So, yeah, that's a lot of that comes from there. And the reason why I bring that up is because one of the reasons why Kemet fell is because of how much acceptance of foreign nations that they were allowing into their spaces. And that very much so contributed to the downfall of their civilization, which lasted from before 3200 BCE all the way up to 900 AD before they started to lose power.
Mm.
Yeah, so, and then if we fast forward to colonization, bro, they used to take YT men and put them in African spaces, marry black women, and then they would take the offspring of those marriages and they'd send them off to Europe, Europeanize them, so-called European education, bring them back, and then they would use their proximity to blackness to effectively work to disrupt and destroy African civilization so they could benefit their YT fathers and their YT people back in Europe.
Did not know that.
Yeah. It's when you unpack a lot of this stuff, bro, you start to see that black biracial people have very much so been extremely problematic to our own African family. Hence the reason why sometimes they look at us sideways. They're like, "Nah, you ain't even black. Nah, you ain't even this." And I don't get mad when I see that, because I'm just like, yeah, listen, I get it. We've been shitty. We've been horrible towards our own people, but at the same time, many of us have unapologetically stood on our Africanity, stood on our blackness, and did what we could do to benefit our people.
Right.
But
No, I feel that.
Yeah, did you want to respond before I go on to the next guest?
No, that's all good. I appreciate your time.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, you can stay up and chime in on the conversation, no problem.
All right.
Let's see here. So Nate, can you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Yo, what's good?
Yeah, age,
What'd you
race, and
say?
pronouns.
Oh, I'm a white
Age,
male.
race, and pronouns.
I'm a white male.
Huh.
21.
Over 18.
Oh yeah, obviously, bro. What's the debate over here, bro?
You gotta read the screen.
No, I get that. I'm saying what's the problem here? We all got we got free choice to do whatever we want. So like why is it bad that us the members of the African American community,
right, this is
they
how
tend towards to gravitate.
This is how the space works. When you come in, you don't immediately start engaging in questions because you're not the host here. You answer the questions on the screen to the best of your ability. If you can't answer the questions, or if you come in here to try to steer the conversation into the direction that you want to steer it in, you're not the host, so it's not going to operate like that. If that's what you're intending on doing, the unfollow button or the leave button is free. Nobody's forcing you to be here. But if you could just answer the questions, that'd be appreciated. I'll send you the invite to unmute.
That's gonna be a no, a yes, and a that ain't even irrelevant. Yes or no? What you mean? Does it benefit? Of course, it benefits the black community, bro.
In what way?
Because well, actually, it kind of benefits. It's a relationship. It's a win-win on both parts. You see what I'm saying?
How
Both
so?
for the white and the black community. So the average there's a very large subset of African American males that tend to gravitate towards bigger bodied white women that are usually not accepted by the
Thank goodness. All right, that was 5 paws. Yeah, I think he was just here to troll. But, that's essentially what they like to do. They like to come in spaces like this, try to steer the conversation in their direction, to try to derail us from the actual topics. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate the gifts, family. Yeah, yeah. That's always nonsensical. But hold up, I think. Oh, books just dropped back down. Okay. But yeah. Yeah. So technically speaking, the benefit is to YT people, because they've already proven that higher concentrations of melanin have been linked to a lot of biological advantages. So, um, them attempting to intermix with us is their engaging in the fetishization of us, but also at the same time, it is their attempt to subconsciously participate in the production of melanin because they know that they can't do that. And that goes into what Dr. Francis Christ Welston was talking about. Let me see. There's another requester to request to come up. There we go. Okay, is there a reason why he keeps coming up and then dropping down? Is there anybody else? Okay, so I'm not seeing anybody else. No, we didn't kick you. Or at least I didn't. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, feel free to request to come up so we can engage in the conversation. Give us your 2 cents about the topics on the board. Definitely gift Brother Legend. Gracious enough to create the space for us to be able to have these conversations. And if you appreciate the free knowledge and information, please gift Brother Legend. And also definitely join us over at B1 Initiative if you Black and you unapologetically celebrate your Africanity, and if you want to help us build. B1 Initiative is the Discord that we are in. B1 Initiative is a nonprofit organization. And yeah, what we are doing is we are attempting to build what we are building, Sankofapedia, which is going to be an Afrocentric perspective of world history, because that is absolutely crucial to have. Everything that we have so far today is essentially a Eurocentric perspective on history. And as we well know, Europeans don't tell the appropriate side of history because, they have a inferiority complex. So they're always going to make themselves seem like they are the best. But in reality, the truth is oftentimes proving the opposite. But let's see here. Yeah, definitely go to Brother Legend's bio and click on the link in order to get into the Discord. You do have to download the Discord app and then set up like a profile on Discord first, and then requesting to join through there. And then also, hold on, because there is something crazy happening right now. Somebody's trying to request to join up, but they keep on. Okay, books, just yeah, books. Just stop requesting to join up. Stop. Just chill. But I don't know. For some reason, it keeps on like allowing you to come up, but then it's like kicking you back out immediately after you try to come back up, and it's like causing the page to like do this weird thing. Oh, books was kicked. Oh, okay. Was he? He got 5 paw. Okay, well then stop requesting to come back up here. What are you doing? It's because I'm not approving you to come back up, but you keep on trying to pop back in. If you got 5 paws, then that means you got a gift. Alicia, what is it? How much do you have to send to Brother Legend in order to request to come back up? A galaxy. Okay. Yep, you got to send Brother Legend a galaxy in order to be able to come back up. So you send over that galaxy, then all right, you can put your requests in. But yeah. So definitely engaging in the conversation. Join us over at B1 Initiative Discord. Again, you're gonna have to download the Discord app. You're gonna have to set up the profile, and then if you go to my link tree in my bio, I also have the link there too. But if you go to Brother Legends bio, he'll also have the link to the B1 Initiative Discord there, and so we can tap in, join in, and engage in trying to build for the Black community as Black people. So let's be about this. Let's actually put action to words, y'all. But yeah, anybody who wants to come up, tag in on the or join in on the conversation, feel free to request to join up. Books Echo, you still got to send over a Galaxy if you want to request to join back up to be accepted up onto the panel. And yeah, so we out here in these intellectual Pan-African streets. Let's see. And Greatest, did you want to chime in a bit? I think I caught a little bit of what you said earlier to Brother Legend, but yeah.
I'm just learning. I'm learning and trying to. I think it's one thing when you're having the conversation. For me, it's a little different now because it's in my home. You know, I'm not from the outside looking in. I'm looking at, you know, the thing that's most precious to me, my child, who is making the choices and decisions that make sense to her. And I'm trying to just roll with it. But I think I'm already feeling the negative, what's the word I'm looking for? I think there is a negative sentiment attached to Black men for her. She's never dated outside of, I mean, she's still young, so I'm going to be careful with that word. But her interest had always been with other Black boys. And this is a first. And as I said to Brother Legend, literally the first thing she said, once we became aware that she was dating this YT young man, was that he treated her well. And the way that she said it definitely let me know that she was saying that from the perspective of those before him had not.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in the Midwest. We live in a town that's only about 5% Black. Even all of the men, and I have to kind of be specific with them because most of the people in leadership roles in the community are Black males. And I can tell you that all of them except for one, and we're talking about a number roughly of maybe 7 or 8, school board, local government, whatever, they are all in relationships with YT women. And we've been here, I guess, from Florida for about 6 or 7 years, I believe. And it's pretty widespread here, which is really different. My oldest daughter grew up in predominantly, it wasn't even predominantly, it was all Black community. Very different perspective. Yeah, I'm just venting. Ignore me.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's perfectly fine, family. Like,
I came to also speak as a mother on that topic. That was why I requested.
oh yeah, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns? I mean, obviously, I see your profile pic, but just for everybody listening in.
I'm 38 and I am Black. I don't do the pronouns thing.
Okay, so would you prefer I just address you as she, her?
Yes, that's fine. That is what I am. Because what's a they? I'm sorry. Let me not go on that tangent. Anyway, as far as being a mother, my children are still young. And I feel like I'm raising them also in a very cultured household. And I have in my time as a grassroots organizer met elders who have had children, you know, obviously older than my children, who have experienced the same thing that Greatest is describing. A lot of them say that they feel like it's a rebellion situation, just because obviously we have to live, most of us, having a double consciousness, right? So I think that having that kind of internal war as a young person and wanting to be accepted in the status quo because that's what it is. Um, it's just like which way to go, I think. And so, maybe it's just something that she's trying out. But I think that for myself, I've explained to my children, like my oldest son is just a preteen. But we have very in-depth conversations about who our enemy is historically, that they are not people to be trusted. And so I expressed very clearly that if he ever shows up like that he's decided that he's going to be in a relationship with someone who is a YT person. Um, yeah, I don't have no words for that. I'm gonna be honest. I would hope that it happens once he leaves my house because we wouldn't be having any other conversation other than when he's getting out. I'm gonna be honest. Like I feel like I treat my children, both sons, they're both sons, as kings. We live in a predominantly black city. Um, we do get out and travel a lot, so we meet a lot of different people. I think that my children have no problem playing in spaces with YT children. They are not hateful children. Because I hear people say stuff like that a lot when you talk about being pro-black and teaching your children pro-black values. They say like you creating children to be hateful. My children have never shown up in that way, but they absolutely understand who their historical enemy is. And I've made that clear. Like that is the language that I use with my children. And maybe it's because they are going to be young men. They're going to be black men in the world. I would never talk to them in a way to be soft on what the truth actually is. Um, and sis, I just want to say, as far as your daughter, she grew up most of her teenage time, which you're describing, where she would be interested in boys in this non-black community. So I think that, that's obviously playing a part. And I do hear you about, basically what she's seeing. Um, I really hope that things can make a change for you and your family.
Yeah,
Thank you,
well, the
Zena.
only thing I would recommend is
I hope so too.
go to school.
Hmm. I heard
We're
that.
definitely in a space of I mean, I never thought when I came here for work, and as you get older and you live life, you mature, and I mean, I'm in my 50s. I'm not young. Again, I came here for professional reasons, and now I've gotten older, and after COVID, just some different thoughts of what I wanted, my life with my children to look like. Like I said, the Midwest is not something I'm familiar with. I was born in Jersey.
Hey, me too.
Where are you? Born
What
Camden,
part?
New Jersey. Camden.
Yeah, oh yeah, you down there by my uncle and them. I'm from Elizabeth.
Okay, yeah, born, was in Jersey till my teens. Then most of my years were in Florida. I came here for work. Again, I didn't really stop to think about what that would mean for my kids until they got older. Um, we've been here 7 years, and it's been a whirlwind. That's all I can say. It's been a whirlwind, but financially, again, and I said to Brother Legend, I don't know if we could have a quality of life, and I'm very careful how I say that, and I'm only speaking financially. Is that worth it? No, I don't believe that it should come down to that, but it is a huge conversation that we're having right now, about whether or not we have to just figure out where else to go. I still have two boys behind her. I have a 14-year-old. My 14-year-old son, I don't see the interest with him. He seems very much like black women, black women, black women. My youngest son, he's 10. He all he care about is Legos right now. So, but my daughter, I don't know. And when I say, I mean, she a bad sister. I'm proud of her. I love the young woman that she has become. She probably has the strongest of the identity. There is no compromise with her. So when that happened, I was like, oh, whoa, wait, whoa. The last one you would have thought. So yeah, Dad and I are just kind of looking at each other like, wow. And she's like, yeah, I met his family. And every time she says something to me, I'm like, well, what do they think? Oh, they like me, and I'm like, oh, okay,
She if you taught her, you know what I'm saying, enough, or what it sounded like you would have taught her, then I would say just wait it out, you know what I'm saying? Because it really sounds like, she gonna have an uncomfortable conversation at some point. If she's conscious, you know what I'm saying, if she knows what she needs to know, then eventually it's gonna get uncomfortable. There's been times where even I have, I haven't always been as conscious as I am now, you know what I'm saying? I had to read a lot of Neely Fuller Jr. and Dr. Francis Cress Wilson to get where I'm at now. But there was times where even I've had white friends I'm thinking we cool, we friends, and then conversations get kind of weird. Like they'll even though back then men all the men around me, including myself, would call women B words. When a white man call a sister B word, it's like, and then it got kind of weird. And then it's like, we'll talk about certain things, and it's like, wait, what? What you saying? Like, and I think anyone that's conscious, you know what I'm saying, anyone that has a knowledge of our history is eventually going to run into that cognitive dissonance with them. And I think that might save the day, hopefully. Hopefully. Because you can't have a real conversation about race or how she faces oppression with a Yankee. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that. So
Yeah,
you're gonna
and
scare
there's
them
also
all
this
away.
book. Sorry, were you about to speak, brother?
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that there's also this book called "The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health" by Dr. Rita Walker.
Mm-hmm.
And what she talks about, and I mentioned this a couple of times on the platforms and stuff, so I'm pretty sure that my mutuals know exactly what I'm about to say. But she talks about that if you don't have a positive sense of spirituality or a positive association with your blackness, then in her dealing with her patients throughout the years that she's worked as a psychiatrist, she has found that actually you're more likely to self unalive.
Mm-hmm.
And what she deliberately made the choice to do was to take herself, as well as her black children and her black husband, and move to a predominantly black neighborhood, because she also found that oftentimes that when people do have this negative association with their blackness, it's a lot of times has a direct correlation with them living in spaces that are not predominantly black. So that sense of black community is crucial when it comes to developing black boys and black girls in African family. Um, so yeah, that's I would definitely seriously consider grabbing that book, The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. I'll put it in the comments, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate y'all coming up and sharing all this with us, man. We had a good discussion. I'm sorry I couldn't be here for some of it, but I'm going to post a replay on my YouTube, BIGBROLGND. I'm the same username on all platforms. You can follow me on Twitter too. I post all my replays on YouTube, so you can find us there. And thank y'all for coming up, man. I feel like I made some friends today. Got some sisters up here that knew, what we was talking about. They knew the assignment. A lot of times we get brothers up here with mayonnaise between their ears. So I'm glad we had some sisters to hold it down. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all tomorrow. And also, don't forget to check out our Discord, our technology startup nonprofit, b1initiative.org. You can check us out and join our Discord, Discord of over, we're almost at 900 actually, almost 900 Pan Africans worldwide. If you want to learn about blackness, come learn it with us. We have our meetings every Sunday. We're building Sankofapedia, an Afrocentric online encyclopedia. Afrocentric, not meaning that it's just Black history, it's world history through an African perspective, as taught by our scholars, John G. Jackson, John Henrik Clark, Joseph Ben Yakinen, and so on. So check us out. We're building things for black people. I'm going to catch y'all next time. Peace and black power.